Update. Am I the arsehole here for saying I'm second guessing having a baby with my husband after he asked for a paternity test? Original post. I, 26 female, and my husband Alex, 27 male, have been married for a year. Recently, I found out I was pregnant. This was not planned. However, ever since we got married, we have not been using protection every time we got intimate. And I'm currently not on any birth control. My guess is that I'm only a few weeks along. I haven't seen a doctor yet. Anyway, I told him when he got back home from work yesterday. I personally was very happy about it because I've always wanted to be a mum. I was pretty sure I was all smiles when I told him, and I thought he would be too once he found out the news. Let me add that he's been neutral on having kids. Well, my assumption was wrong. Immediately, he gets super upset and asks, how in the hell could this happen? I explained to him that while it was sudden, we hadn't been using protection every time, so it wasn't that surprising. I thought he would have understood. For some reason, he didn't. After a few minutes of back and forth, he demanded a paternity test and told me there was no way it was his. I was hurt and insulted. Let me be very clear that I did not and will never cheat on my husband. I have also never given him any reason for him to be suspicious about me cheating on him either. I was so taken aback that he doubted my loyalty enough to ask for a paternity test. I told him I couldn't believe he was seriously asking me for that. He said that I wasn't helping my case, and that if I had nothing to hide, then I should take the test and prove my loyalty to him. I honestly can't remember all that I said, but I ended up saying something along the lines of, if you're doubting me and my loyalty so much that you think I cheated on you and got pregnant with someone else's baby, then I don't think I want one with you anymore. I don't want to be tied to someone who doesn't trust me. He blew up at me and accused me of cheating once again. It was a big argument, and he said I was being shitty, dismissing his concerns, and saying that asking for a paternity test was valid. In the end, I effing agreed to the test, but said that I stood by my words. Had to highlight that because some people are saying that I didn't agree to it when I very much did. We haven't spoken since the argument and he's currently at work. I went to my friend for advice and she said that while he was out of line for accusing me of cheating, I shouldn't have said that to him over one of his valid concerns. And that clearly had a reason to feel that way about the situation. I cannot fathom what made him feel like I was cheating on him. I was just so hurt that he would insult me like that and accuse me of doing something so disgusting when I thought we were supposed to have trust in each other. But am I the asshole for saying what I did? Edit. A lot of people are suggesting he got a secret vasectomy that failed. And that did cross my mind. During the argument, I did ask if he got a vasectomy or was infertile, and that's why the baby couldn't be his. But he dismissed that and continued saying it just couldn't be his without providing me a solid reason. So in that regard, I have really no idea what to say. Edit 2. I feel I should elaborate on the neutral about kids part. I told him that while we were still just dating, that no kids was a deal breaker for me. He said that was fine because his stance on it was that if we ever had kids, it's fine. If something happens and we don't, it's also fine. I'm calling that neutral since I don't know what else to call it. So when I told him I was pregnant, I thought he would be fine with it like he said, but apparently he just changed his mind about that and didn't tell me. And also, I have no issues with men wanting paternity tests. I just had an issue with him blatantly accusing me of being a cheater with no solid proof to back it up along with it. My reaction for OP. Hey OP, if you're not using protection, then case solved. Your husband doesn't have to be Sherlock Holmes to realize this. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Comment 1. Has unprotected sex, wife gets pregnant. What is the meaning of this? Not the arsehole, for sure. Comment 2. Exactly, what did he expect to happen? A free TV? Comment 3. I'm not saying he's definitely cheating, but people who cheat are pretty likely to project onto their partners and accuse them of cheating, out of guilt or whatever. You don't want a baby with someone who doesn't believe he could be the father even after having unprotected sex and no reason to assume you're cheating. And unless you two get some significant couples therapy, why would you stay with someone who believes you're cheating on him? Comment 3. True, I was also thinking the other possible reason is that he was told he couldn't have children or a failed vasectomy he lied about, which would make his statement, "It can't be mine," make more sense. But if that was the case, he needs to come clean and tell her he had lied to her earlier, and he's still a total asshole. Comment 4. Honestly, reading this, I'm going back and forth with a few possibilities, but I keep coming back to secret vasectomy. The fact that she said not having kids was a deal breaker and he was neutral and if it happens, it happens, if it doesn't, that's okay too, makes me think he got a vasectomy expecting kids to never happen. They could have lots of unprotected sex and should never get over not having kids. He could keep the girl and avoid having kids. It was a sure thing until it wasn't, and now he's losing his shit. Now for the update. Hi everybody, this isn't going to be a super crazy update saying we got the test back and he got a secret vasectomy, etc, but it's kind of a big one. This might be a long post, so I'll put a TLDR at the bottom. Thank you for everyone's kind words and advice. It was all super helpful, including criticism because it really made me reflect on my behaviour and how I handled the situation. On top of that, I'm so sorry that I didn't really respond to any comments. There was just a lot coming in non-stop and it was a little overwhelming. Moving on. After I made that post and he came home from work, I cooked him his favourite dinner and let him relax a bit before I calmly approached the subject again. I told him that, yes, I was happy to do the paternity test, just that I was a little hurt that he would accuse me of cheating on him because I loved him a lot and would hate to make him feel that way. I also apologized for what I had said. I asked him if he was just overwhelmed, scared from the news, and that's why he accused me like he did. He said that wasn't it, and that was generally his biggest concern. He then told me he wasn't willing to talk to me, say anything else, or negotiate about anything until after we got the test done. I asked if he was sure, and he practically yelled at me, telling me to drop the subject for now, so I did. And so things have been super tense. I've been scrolling through comment after comment for what feels like forever. A lot of you said he was cheating. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt and chalk it up to him being told he was infertile or something, but I ended up getting a really bad sinking feeling in my gut that I should check his phone. I never wanted to be the type of person that goes through their significant other's phone obsessively for no reason, but my gut has never really steered me wrong, so I did it last night while he was sleeping. I snuck his phone off his nightstand and went out to the living room. He's cheating on me. And if that wasn't bad enough, it is, indeed, with my friend I mentioned in the last post. Like a lot of you said, I guess it does make sense now that I think about it, but I'm still really shocked. I'd never been suspicious of their relationship before, but after reading the comments, I realised her reaction was a red flag. I went through their texts, and from what I can tell, it's only been going on for a few months, and started after we got married. But really, I only focused on the text from right after I told him I was pregnant. He texted her saying things like, "I don't know what I was thinking when I decided to F her without a condom. She says it's mine. Of course, but I swear to God, it better not be. I'll be happy if it isn't. Obviously, I don't want a kid with her. I'd rather be with you than be stuck with her. You in this context being my friend. I know, I should have been careful. I don't care if she thinks I'm a dick or an awful husband right now." This was his reply when my friend told him that I came to her about the situation. So yeah, those were just a few messages, but their conversations were hard to read and I ended up crying a lot. I screenshotted the messages, sent them to myself from his phone, deleted the text on his phone so it looked like he'd never sent anything, and then deleted the screenshots and deleted them from the recently deleted folder. I also went to his laptop to check if they were deleted there too. From his text, I gather that he did not have a secret vasectomy that failed, nor does he think he is sterile, since he said himself that he should have been more careful and he doesn't know what he was thinking. I don't think he'd be saying that if he thought he was infertile. I also want to say that, yes, he knows I'm not currently on birth control, and he was the one that decided not to use a condom, not me. I just agreed. I did not pressure him. At first, he was pulling out, but occasionally he wouldn't. I don't know why he would continue not wearing a condom occasionally after the affair started. I'm guessing it was because telling me he no longer wanted to go without protection every time, no matter what, would make me suspicious. But that's basically it for now. I'm not going to confront him about cheating right away. I'm going to get the test, then confront him and tell him I want a divorce, along with the test results. I mean, that's currently my plan, but my mind is also all over the place. So maybe that's not the best way to do this? I don't know. It's like 6 AM. I feel like shit, and I haven't gotten any sleep. Laugh out loud. I almost forgot to mention that I'm going to get an STD test just to be safe. I think I'm going to get an abortion just because I don't want my first full-time pregnancy to be literal hell when it should be a happy experience. But thank you to everybody congratulating me. It means a lot. The next update will probably be after the paternity test or whenever I feel like I need to update. Story 2. I regret having my eyes lasered. I'm 36 and this month marks exactly 5 years since I had my eyes lasered, which made me think about it and I wanted to share my experience. I spent a long time considering the procedure, but ultimately, the frustration of wearing glasses all the time pushed me to go for it. I had -7.25 and -6.5, so I could barely see my own hands clearly without them. And even though I wore contact lenses regularly, they would make my eyes burn, forcing me to take them out after just a few hours. I hated to bring glasses and contact lens supplies with me everywhere I went. I also despised the fact that the first thing I had to do in the morning was reach for my glasses. I couldn't even go to the bathroom without them. I was constantly reminded of my dependence on them, and to make matters worse, I never found a pair that truly fit my face or made me feel confident. 5 years ago, I decided to go to my regular eye doctor to explore the possibility of laser eye surgery. I trusted him because he didn't offer the procedure himself, so I felt like his assessment would be unbiased. After a thorough examination, he said my eyes were perfectly suited for it. I had a thick cornea, no issues with moisture, and overall healthy eyes. He didn't see any reason why I shouldn't go through with it. I asked about the risks, and he mentioned I might experience some complications for a few months, possibly up to a year in rare cases. The most common long-term issue, he said, was dry eyes. This reassured me. After that, I went to a nearby laser eye specialist. He gave me the same assessment. My eyes were perfect candidates. I had to decide between two methods. The traditional flap method, where a flap of corneal tissue is created and then replaced after the laser work, or the more modern approach, where the upper layer of skin is entirely removed and has to grow back. The flap method has a quicker recovery, but there's always a small risk of the flap tearing open if, say, I got hit in the face with a ball. The second option takes longer to heal and is more painful at first, but once the skin regenerates, it's as strong as ever. I chose the latter, which also was a bit cheaper, simply because it is quicker and there is less manual work required by the surgeon. The surgery itself was quick and painless. The first few days afterward were very uncomfortable, like having sand in my eyes all the time. But I took the prescribed medication, wore sunglasses 24/7 for 2 weeks, and always wore them outside for the next few months. I attended all my checkups and everything seemed to heal perfectly. For a while, I was thrilled. I could see without glasses. I had some expected side effects, like slight double images, starbursts, and visual distortions, but I was told they would improve over time, and they did, but they never went away completely. Even today, 5 years later, I still experience slight double images when looking at bright objects. Traffic light figures, for example, are hard to see because there are multiple, slightly offset versions of them. For some reason, the green figures are worse than the red ones. The same happens with traffic lights that have arrows. I need to be closer to see them clearly. Those modern super reflective or LED traffic signs, from a distance, they all blur together, and my brain has to do the heavy lifting to figure out what they are, based on their shape and colour. I do still recognise them unambiguously, far enough away though, but not as far away as before. Dusk in a city, when artificial lights dominate the scene, is particularly difficult. If light hits my eyes from the side, it causes my vision to lose contrast, almost like there's a thin white, semi-transparent filter over everything, like wearing greasy glasses. None of this affects my ability to navigate day-to-day life, but the issue that really depresses me is stargazing. Before the surgery, I could see stars as perfectly clear, sharp, differently sized, and bright points of light against the black night sky. Now, all I see are faint, smudgy spots with starbursts around them. What used to be one of my favourite activities for warm summer nights, lying in the grass and staring up at the night sky, thinking about the depths of the universe, has become something I can no longer enjoy in the same way. Another surprising realisation: I actually miss wearing glasses. Not the necessity of them, of course, which I hated, but how they were a part of me. I never thought I'd say this, but I occasionally think a good pair of glasses could complete my outfit. They were also practical in ways I hadn't appreciated. My glasses protected my eyes from wind, rain, branches, and flying debris like insects or leaves. Since the surgery, I've hurt my eyes more often than I did ever before, which was pretty much zero. This makes me wonder how many minor incidents my glasses shielded me from without me even noticing. There's also the issue of looking at small objects. Before, I could simply take off my glasses and bring things close to my face to zoom in. Now, that ability is gone. It's a minor thing. I wouldn't even consider it an inconvenience because it's the same as before while wearing contacts. After all, a magnifying glass works much better anyway. Another thing I didn't expect is how sensitive my eyes have become. They often feel slightly swollen or more tender, especially when I instinctively rub them. Multiple eye doctors have assured me that nothing is wrong, that everything has healed perfectly. Still, they just feel different. In the end, I'm left with mixed feelings about the whole experience. Yes, I can see without glasses, and that's an undeniable improvement that makes life easier. But I gave up perfect night vision, the ability to see stars clearly, and a certain level of protection for my eyes. If someone asked me today whether I'd do it again, I honestly don't know what I'd say. The things I lost feel almost as valuable as the things I gained. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you.